bit later on. Okay, so welcome everybody to our session today. And really, the title of the session is Changing Your Life and Changing Your Business. And as you all know, we are living in a completely transformed world, literally, okay, where everything sort of has changed from consumer behavior to our staff's behavior to lifestyle choices that people are making, as well as how we run our businesses. So today really is to introduce you to our community, number one. But number two, most importantly, is to take you through this amazing program that we've just, we're in the process of, we're almost finished revamping it. And I want to show you all the new content and all the new tools and everything that we have to be able to help you to run better businesses. Okay. So I see Kara's joined us. Welcome, Kara. So nice to have you. Kara's from Swaziland. So we've got from all around the world. Hey, that's amazing. Beautiful. Okay. So for those of you who don't know yet, what is our word for 2022? Because we always have a word that we live by for that year, that we keep repeating. What is our word? Does anybody remember what the word for Spa Professionals Guild community is? Yes, Karen has said it. Okay, our word for this year is abundance in every form. So abundance in business, abundance in client, abundance in health, abundance in love, and in every shape or form. And it really is what we strive to do, is cultivate that mindset of abundance. As you can see in the picture, cultivating a mindset of the image you see on the right, and not a scarcity mindset. Okay, so, and that is very, very important also in this journey, this transformational business journey that you're about to start with us, is very important, is to stay in a place of abundance. Okay, so before I take you through everything, we are going to be focusing on upgrading your business toolbox. But what I want to hear from all of you is go into the chat box and tell me one or two of your biggest business challenges that you have right now. What is one or two of the biggest business challenges that you are facing? And I think it's quite nice for all of us to see what each other says, to see if there's any common challenges that we have in the marketplace, in the industry at the moment. So let's hear from you all. Okay, let's hear. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so Karen is saying retail sales. Danielle is saying making your brand stand out from the rest. Interesting, Danielle. Stavros is saying educate hotel professionals on promoting wellness services. Okay, interesting. So that's more of a training and education challenge. Yvette, keeping columns full. Okay, that's interesting. Keeping columns full. Okay, some more of your biggest business challenges that you're facing right now. Okay, so let's hear from all of you. Karen, yours, in your business. Lindy, yours. Lisa, what's yours? Francina says attracting new clientele. Okay. That's interesting, right? Okay, so one is client acquisition and the other one is client retention, because keeping your columns full means retaining your clients and making sure that they're coming back. Okay, Joyce as well is retaining clients, keeping strong relationships with clients. Okay, Lindy says establishing a client database when we have just opened our doors. Okay, very interesting. Also to be competitive against brands that have similar offerings and services. Sue Marie saying definitely attracting new clients and introducing new products. Okay, very interesting. Okay, good. All right, any other challenges that you're having at the moment? Let's hear from everybody. Danae's back on after her load shedding. Cara, new ideas for marketing. Okay, that's very interesting. Yes. Okay, anybody else want to share their biggest business challenge right now that you're experiencing? Okay, let's hear some more. Okay, so I'll keep my eyes on the chat box. Okay, Tiffany, getting clients to commit to orders. Okay. Danae, I was waiting for that. So Danae, well done. I was waiting for who was going to say staff first. Because it's everywhere and everybody I speak to, staff seems to be their biggest challenge, whether it's keeping them motivated or keeping, getting the right kind of revenues out of them. That seems to be a challenge in the marketplace at the moment. Okay, so Danae says staff. Karen, having the correct SOPs in place so that all staff are on the same page. Okay, very interesting, because those SOPs are something else. Okay, I think most business owners' nightmares is that beautiful SOP Bible or SOP manual, right? Okay, anybody else want to share their biggest business challenges at the moment? Okay, so I'm going to keep going. And feel free to type in the chat box what your biggest business challenges are at the moment, because then we can each compare what everybody else is looking for. And I'm going to take you through all the material that we're covering at the moment. Okay, so first of all, very importantly, is to make sure that you are following all of our social media pages. Okay, so we've got Spa Professionals Guild on Facebook, as you can see right now. So if you go and you find it and then follow, because most of our communication happens on our social media pages. Same goes with Spa Professionals Guild on Instagram, okay, which most of you are following. There might be a few of you that aren't at the moment right now, and I welcome you to join our pages. Then there's also a page called Spa Business Coach Online, and that's more of my coaching page, a personal page, which again, we put across to all the platforms, all of our content. And then very, very importantly, all of our material, our recordings, our lessons, we store them on our YouTube channel. So this is a very, very valuable platform for you when you're wanting to go and look up, I don't know, the SOP module, what we did in that module, or you missed one of the coaching sessions that you heard was really amazing. You can come into our Spa Professionals Guild YouTube channel and be updated and have everything there. All the recordings are there. Okay, then once you become a member of our community, we invite you to a private member lounge, okay? So this really is for members only to be able to chat and share best practices. And it's also great for us because we store a lot of our tools and our material on the member lounge group. So we've 19 countries represented at the moment, which is wonderful because then we can tap into management styles from different countries, not just from one specific country, which is an amazing platform to have. Okay, so before I take you through the material, I just want you to know that we have 3 forbidden words in our community. So 3 words that we never, ever say. I want to encourage you all to make sure that you remind your staff never to say these 3 words as well. And purely because, Yeah, and I'll take you through what the words are. But once you get into the habit of never saying these words, it actually changes your language. It changes how you speak. It changes how you think. It changes even your mindset. So anybody know what those 3 forbidden words in our community are? Oh, Sue-Marie, brilliant. Okay. Unfortunately, that was one of them that we added on afterwards. Yes, try. And then what is the other one? Unfortunately, try and can't. Yes, you're right. Okay, so very importantly is the reason I say these words are forbidden is your words are what you're thinking. And as you say them out loud, you manifest those thoughts. And by avoiding saying those words at any costs, even when you write it down, take it back if you've written it down somewhere. Okay, so that first word is unfortunately. And I want to give you some examples now because this is quite important for you, especially in your salons and spa situations, where you say the word unfortunately in the most polite way. However, it is perceived as negative language, and you want to avoid using negative language in your businesses at all costs. Okay, so a very popular one is when somebody phones in and they want to book a treatment, and on the other side of the phone, they hear, unfortunately, we don't have availability. Unfortunately, we're fully booked. Unfortunately, I can't help you at that time. So it's such a polite word, yet that word, unfortunately, is so negative. And if you think about it, is it unfortunate that you're fully booked? No, it's fortunate that you're fully booked. So you, just by changing the language and saying, well, actually, I can help you with that facial at 1 p.m. How does that sound for you? Or you can even say, we're fortunate enough to be fully booked, so I can help you at 1 o'clock. Okay, and Sue-Marie saying, I've been avoiding these words ever since I sat and thought about it. And it is very true. It really, really is. Sue-Marie, the power of words is unbelievable, and how it sits with the consumer and even with your staff. When a staff member asks you something and you say, well, unfortunately not, think about that word. Don't say unfortunately, rather just focus on what comes after the word, or replace it with positive language at all times. So every time you want to use that word unfortunately, I want you to think about, okay, instead of saying that, what can I say that is positive? And use that word instead. Okay. Then the word can't. I mean, can't is you really can. And the word can't means you don't want to do it. Okay. So avoiding that word, at all costs as well in your business. And then I will try to. I think my worst word of all 3 of them is the word try. So for those of you who know me well, you know that that word drives me completely insane, because the word in try insinuates that you may not get it done. It insinuates or gives you an excuse as to why you may not do it. And where this all started is when you start with your therapists on their retail targets. Okay, everybody's got their retail targets, let's get going. And the therapists say, okay, I'm going to try. So when they say I'm going to try, what does that mean? What does that mean? Are you going to do it, or are you not going to do it? Okay, so there's a little video clip here. We don't have time to watch it because I really have got a lot to show you. So I'll send the clip to you. But the bottom line is this gentleman associates the word try with failure. And yes, exactly what Laniel just said. They won't do it. So when somebody says to you, you're going to come for coffee later, or let's go for a drink, and you say, yes, I'll try and swing past. What happens most of the time? They don't pitch, right? Why? Because they used that word try, which allows you to make an excuse as to why you're not going to do it. So please, everybody, avoid that word at all costs. Okay. All right. So really, what we encourage all of you to do, besides never using those 3 words, is when you embark on this journey with us, and I want you to see this journey as an everlasting educational journey, because your learning and your growing never stops, right? I mean, the day you stop learning and growing is really the day when your business is going to become stale, and you're going to wonder, well, why am I not getting clients? Or I'm bored, or my staff aren't happy. And that's because that intense education and knowledge has stopped. So I want you to change your mindset when it comes to your learning. And I want you to see your learning as something that is never going to stop. So yes, you've got course material to work through, right? But I want to tell you that we're never going, from our side, going to stop adding to that course material. There has not been 1 week where something new hasn't been added to our course material. When I find something new in the marketplace, or I read a new article, or I have a new experience with a therapist, and then I think about it and I want to add it to our course material. So almost keep an open mindset to making sure that you are on a pathway of learning and that you are open to new ideas, because some of what we're going to present to you is quite different. It's not like what you've been used to. Okay, so let's get started. In module 1, that's changed a little bit as well, but module 1 really is we look at the foundation of the business, and that is you as the owner or the manager. So we start with you. Because at the end of the day, if we start giving you all these interesting tools to grow your business and to implement, but the foundation of the business is not solid, well, then how do you grow your business if you yourself are not solid? Okay, so I'll take you through what we do. Is really a major self-reflection, is having a look at every single aspect about you as an individual. Okay, it starts off with your enrollment form and questionnaire. So you'll see when you enroll with us, there's a long, well, not very long, but there's a questionnaire where we already start the process of self-reflection. Because as you're answering those questions, you're telling yourself what needs to change, what needs to happen in your business. We then have a self-assessment questionnaire. And this is to get to know yourself better in terms of, do you like planning? Are you a last-minute person? Do you enjoy people? Do you manage your time well? Do you listen well to your team? And really, we want you to answer in as much detail as possible, because again, going to be giving you huge insight into you as an individual and why you're doing things the way that you're doing it. Very exciting task. Okay, so Lanil, you've done this, and Cara, you've done it too, is your job description canvas. And this is really something incredible to do if you've never done it before. I really want to encourage you to do it. And if you have done it, I want to encourage you to look at your job description canvas and see where can you change it. Or is your job description canvas still what you're busy doing now, or have you evolved and grown from where it was? So we've got some examples for you on how to do these job description canvases, looking at things like key objectives, your competencies, your primary responsibilities, your secondary responsibilities, your minimum requirements to get your job done. So we really give you all the heading titles that you need to be able to populate this job description canvas. Then one of the most important activities that you can ever do in your business is what your employees want. Most of us think we know what our staff want, right? Now, what is eye-opening is when you do this activity and you rank what you think your staff want in importance from 1 to 10, and then you allow them to do it on a blank sheet of paper, and you come and you compare notes. It is actually mind-blowing. So, for example, this is just the results of one of the assessments that we got back. So the employees, they wanted to be appreciated was their most important. Being included and knowing what's going on in the business, and empathy with personal problems. Whereas the employer or manager thought that good wages was most important, so their salary, job security, and growth opportunities. So this, if I were you, I would do this in my business at least once a year. And you don't have to stick to our headings here of what employees want. This is going to help you to dig deeper and figure out what actually is most important to your staff, to see whether you're on the same page as them, and to perhaps adapt how you are dealing with them, okay? A SWOT analysis. Anybody ever done a SWOT analysis on themselves? Let me hear from you in the chat box. Who of you have done a SWOT analysis on yourself as an individual? Let's hear. Anybody done a SWOT analysis on themselves? Yes, Leniel, yes, Tiffany has. I did, but it's been a while since I updated it. From Lena, Cara, yes, Karen, yes. Okay, brilliant. So, Yvette, yes, many years ago. Okay, so again, a SWOT analysis on yourself as the leader and owner of your business is absolutely critical to do, and to do it as often as possible. Again, once a year. Quickly go through yourself, look at what are your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. And by taking the time to write this down, again, it's a voyage or the journey of self-discovery into the foundation of the business. Okay, then we go through a whole lot of personality assessments. Okay. Oh, Washima, you seem to be writing on my screen. Oops. Okay, so you're doing a whole lot of personality assessments with us. The one that you see in front of you is the Enneagram. I don't know if any of you have done the Enneagram, but this is quite awesome. There's 4 different ones that you do with us. And really it is to try and get more than one perspective on your behavioral type, your personality type, and your communication style, which really is very, very important. Okay, so we do those tests with you. And then very interesting chapter is choosing the important. So this is quite interesting because we look at 4 key areas of where you as owners and managers choose to spend your time. Or sometimes you don't choose to spend the time there, but you find yourself spending time in that quadrant, okay? So we take you through the 4 quadrants, and then we have a look at what quadrant should you be in where you become exceptional. In other words, where you're managing your time for optimum revenue. And how do we do that? By outlining your typical day, hour by hour, for 3 days. Now, I don't know if anybody's ever done this before, but again, the most enlightening exercise ever. So if ever you think that you're not getting around to doing your work and your day is running away with you, you need to do this exercise for 3 days. Go back after 3 days and look at where you're spending your time. And you will very quickly see what the time wasters are. And that will indicate to you, right? And then you go back to this exercise and you really analyze where you should be spending your time in order to get maximum revenue out of yourself as an individual and out of your business. Okay. Rightio. So that takes us through the first part of the course content. Okay. Then we move into the staff section. So we first go into the foundation of the business, and then we move to the lifeline of the business, because at the end of the day, without you and your staff, there is no business, right? So those are the two that we sort of focus on right in the beginning, because they are the most critical and the most important. But you'll see there is so much content that it's almost difficult to decide which one to put first. Okay, so we've sort of tried to put the most critical and urgent material and tools up front for you so that you can get those done. And then you move into the other areas of growing your business. Okay. So in the staff module, we look at 7 steps to a dynamic team. Okay. How do we get to a dynamic team? Then we look at what creates a positive attitude in the workplace, which is absolutely critical to getting the best out of your team. So again, is exploring different ways on how can you create a positive attitude in the workplace. And then we look at things that should be happening in your business, a staff huddle, creating an agenda for a staff huddle, as well as actually recording one, watching it, and seeing how do you perform the staff huddle. Same goes with a staff meeting. What is your agenda for your staff meetings look like? And after you've recorded one and watch it back, what does your staff's body language look like? What does your body language look like? And how can you improve in your staff meetings with your team? Then we look at the importance of goal setting for both yourself and each individual in the business, making sure that you put these goals in writing, that you measure them so you see where was I successful and where did I fall short, and then you adjust and you reward where you've accomplished, okay, where you've got successes. So that's very interesting too. Then we get you to commit to some goals for your staff and yourself. And this is key to everybody in your business being on the same page. We then start giving you some tools. First tool is therapist targets, okay? Because again, it's not that easy just to set targets. You've got to have something that guides you, okay? Something that gives you an indicative of where the targets should be, right? And then listing all the courses and training that you've completed as well as your staff in the last 6 months. Okay, and then it's again how to set therapists' targets. Okay, so this is quite nice. We give you a little tool, a little Excel spreadsheet that is pretty easy to use, where we talk you through it in a little video clip, and then you understand how to get to a specific target based on an earning potential for each and every one of your team members. We then look at opening and closing checklists. So I'm not sure how many of you are running your business with checklists, but they are absolutely non-negotiable to being able to run a smooth business. So often when I get called into doing a spa audit to check where we can improve, the first thing that I check is, okay, what do the checklists say? Are they being completed? And whenever there's hiccups, 99% of the time, it's that the checklists haven't been completed, or they are not being done and nobody is checking that are they being done or are they not being done. So it's one thing to have the checklist. It's another to make sure, are these checklists being followed? Then we look at personality profiling of your entire team, okay? So this is quite important because you need to understand what is your communication style, okay? And then to adjust that style to suit your team and to bring balance in the team. So for those of you who haven't done this yet, you get to a stage where you download, I think I've got, yes, one of these sheets, okay, where you give it to each of your team members, and you are able to see from the results here which quadrant your different staff members fall into when it comes to their communication and behavior styles. And then you're able to do a summary and see, okay, now let me look at my whole team and let me see, where does front desk need to be? Where are the key sellers, like the therapists, the really strong sellers? Where should they be in the business? And you as your manager, what kind of communication style does your manager have? And so you get to see where the gaps in your business are in terms of the personalities that occupy that business. We then teach you how to perform praise sandwiches. So I know this is one of Lanelle's favorites. Yeah, you see, she said, woohoo, I knew it. So a praise sandwich is a really powerful way of giving feedback. In fact, I encourage you to run your staff meetings in praise sandwich form. So you start with a positive, you give all the constructive meat in the middle, and you end off your staff meetings with something positive. Same goes with your huddles. Same goes when you've got to do any correction in your business. Make sure that you're doing it in praise sandwich form. And we take you through this in the course content to teach you how to do it. 4 square questioning technique. This is interesting because it helps you deal with challenges in the workplace and almost predict the outcome of the challenge, okay? And how do you predict the outcome of the challenge? By knowing which question you're going to ask that's going to give you a specific answer that is going to take you to the outcome. So this is something that takes quite a bit of time and practice to get right, but once you start and perfect the 4 square questioning technique, you are able to depict the outcome of the challenge that you're having, because you are controlling in which direction you want that challenge to go, okay? And then we look at the delegation process. Oh my word, many owners and managers, let me know in the chat box if you do have delegation challenges, but many have them and say that, oh my word, delegation is definitely not my strong point. I like to rather get things done myself because then I know that it gets done. But at the end of the day, unless you learn the art of delegation, you will never be able to scale your business because you cannot possibly do everything yourself. And there really is an art to this, and we take you through that. We get you to practice delegating a task. We then have the daily revenue planner, my most exciting tool, and a tool that has changed a lot of therapists' lives, a lot, because it changes their earning potential. As soon as they start to treat themselves as a business and not as a therapist just coming in and doing treatments, okay? Again, the planner goes together with the therapist earning calculator. How much does she want to earn? Which then translates into the planner. Okay, because by her saying, right, I want to earn X amount, she knows exactly how to plan her day so that she goes in that direction. Okay. And then there's just a really great questionnaire at the end of that staff module that helps you understand how to change your mindset in order to achieve different outcomes. Okay, so I mean, that's what our whole word has to do with, an abundance mindset. So we take you through some old ways of thinking or processing information and how you can change it to something positive or something different, something new to get a different outcome. Okay, so that's the staff module. It is absolutely jam-packed full of tools, okay? And it doesn't end there. This is a brand new module that we've added in, okay? It's a human resources module. Now, obviously, we cannot make this a legal module because each country has a different set of rules and regulations. But what we can do here is give you all the tools that you need in place to be able to manage your staff function, manage the human aspect of your business. Okay. So the first tool that we give you is a staff hiring checklist. So quite interesting. The more and more I speak to people and to salon and business owners, they keep saying, oh, goodness me, I've made a mistake. I hired the wrong staff member. And really, it's because we're not working to a checklist. Again, if you work with something where you have to tick the boxes and you cannot move to the next thing without ticking those boxes, you're going to make far less mistakes when it comes to the hiring process. We then give you some first interview questions to ask. A lot of people are not quite sure. What do they do with the first interview? Okay. Ranking that candidate out of 10. Then a staff treatment matrix. Again, this is so important because at a glance, you're able to see which therapist can do which treatments and which ones are strong at which treatments. And this is a vital spreadsheet to have, and especially for your front desk, for whoever is taking bookings, okay? We then have an induction feedback form, okay, which is very, very important. So we teach you how to do an induction plan and a staff induction, as well as a feedback form, so that you know, was your induction correct and powerful, or was your staff induction, or is your induction process not great? Performance reviews. We take you through the process of performance reviews, why they're important, how to do them, okay? We take you through KPIs, key performance indicators. What are the main key performance indicators? How do you measure? How do you work out the percentages? Where do you pull your information from? So again, very, very important to being able to manage your staff efficiently. And then we even take you through exit interviews, okay? So what type of questions to ask and why exit interviews are so vital to the human resources side of your business, because it really does help you when making decisions on new staff and on where do you improve as an individual or as a business and as a team. How do you improve and how do you do better next time? Okay, then module 4 is the tools module, okay, which is awesome. It really revolves around operational tools. And there we sit with the daily business analysis. The bottom line of this sheet is it is the most important business tool you will ever use. And it helps you make decisions on a daily basis in your business, okay? So it is not something that can get pulled 100% from your software. This is something that gets populated manually, but pulling information from your software. Again, it really is a life and business changing tool. And really again, we look at checklists, more and more checklists. We've got resources for you, books that you can turn to that show you the value of checklists, okay? Then we look at brand partners and best practices with dealing with brand partners. So how can you get more out of the people that you're partnering with and more out of your trainers that you're working with? How to take effective bookings in your business. Everybody thinks it's as simple as, yes, make a phone call, take down a booking, and then we're done. Absolutely not. So there is a science and an art to taking a booking. And we take you through that process as well. Mystery guest protocols. We look at Are you doing mystery guests? How often are you doing them? What is the plan? What is the evaluation? Are you choosing the right type of mystery guest? Okay, how quickly are you giving feedback? And so on and so on. All right. And then we take you through an entire mystery guest evaluation form. We've got a beautiful, massive template that you download, and then you can adapt it to your own business to get the kind of feedback that you want. Okay, we then moved marketing and sales into module 5. And wow, so many nice, exciting things there, where we look at the difference between branding in your business, okay, and logos. What is the difference between a brand and a logo? And we get you to complete an exercise, because at the end of the day, big brands use logos to be able to get certain emotions and feelings out of people. We then look at a brand identity model. So you look at what are the objectives and values of your brand and align that with the vision and the mission of your business. Okay, so this is great. So once you've looked at all the nitty-gritty operational issues, then we take you through a whole branding and marketing exercise. We look at customer avatars. We look at brand avatars, very importantly, because you cannot put out or understand your brand properly unless you know your customer properly. Okay, and then we just look at different types, and this is one of my favorite parts of the course material, is we look at all these different types of marketing, guerrilla marketing campaigns that you can run. So we take you through a few of them. KitKat has done one. I absolutely love this one with Nivea, Goodbye Cellulite. So you've got a couch that looks a bit like it's got cellulite, and then a couch that is smooth, dimple-free bum, okay? And how powerful that is as a marketing exercise. And we get you to create your own guerrilla marketing campaigns. How important marketing brainstorming is, creating the correct space, okay, and the correct retail. How have you merchandised your shelves, your front desk cheat sheets for your staff to know how to take bookings, which one are your most profitable services, then bundling in your business. If you're not bundling, this is really something that can help you with your bottom line, because it's now combining services with retail with vouchers. So it's bundling different aspects of the business together. Okay, we look at a space map of your entire space, and are you making good use of your space at the moment? Loyalty programs, we look at that. Also attracting new clients. We've got a whole little section on attracting new clients, as well as client retention strategies. And then we've got a very exciting marketing calendar where we've completed one full month for you, so that you can understand to what extent your marketing calendars need to be populated, okay? And then together with an evaluation at the end of every month, you evaluate and you have a look and see, okay, where did I do well in my marketing efforts? We then move on to the social media module and our online module. And this really is having a look at the psychology of social media and of the digital world, okay? Clarifying questions, because you need to know what your why is in your business. And some more, again, we just take you through a whole lot of worksheets to try and understand what it is that you need to get out of social media and your digital presence in today's world that we're sitting in, okay? We also look at video, taking video content and how to make effective video content, either with Instagram Reels, looking at your grid, your aesthetic grid of your business, which is so, so important. So I don't know how many of you have looked at it and said, okay, my goodness me, my grid needs to improve. Okay, so we just take you through that whole process. Also the hashtags, again, they're not just there for fun, they're there for a reason. They're there to improve how quickly your business is found. So a hashtag can be a client tool on how to get in a new client simply by the hashtag that you are using, okay? Then establishing your specific needs when it comes to marketing in the business. And then we get you to do a whole lot of exercises so that you can learn from the experience. So we take you through the Facebook advert, and then you're going to do a poll post. Then you're going to do a question post, which is a different type of post, okay? You're going to go live. You're going to do an emoji slider post. You're going to look at influencer campaigns, okay? And we're going to do a spreadsheet and an evaluation there with you. Then you're going to have a look at different types of gift vouchers and how you can optimize the type of gift vouchers and how you are presenting the gift vouchers. Because remember, gift vouchers is not just about a gift voucher. It's about how are you tapping into vouchers online? And do you have gift vouchers as a revenue stream online? Because if you don't, then that should be added in at the moment. Okay, and then we've got like an exciting little word search exercise for you. We then have moved the revenue management to the end, okay? We found that putting this in the middle of our content seemed to overwhelm people because profit and loss statements and revenue management is not their forte. Okay, it's not something that they like to do. So we've put it at the end of the course material, but it is really critical that we still cover it. In fact, next week, we are going to take you through a session on how to populate a profit and loss statement. So even if you do have one and you want to see how ours works, join us for that session next week, because we're going to take you line by line on a profit and loss so that you understand where do you pull the information from and why is it important. And we're also going to look at some benchmarks in the industry. So where should your cost of goods at retail be? Where should your cost of goods of services be? Okay. So we first, in the financial management module, we do a financial intelligence quiz, okay? Because not everybody is finance minded. I'm certainly not. But this just gives you a better understanding into how strong a financial background or a numbers brain you have, okay? Then we take you through the difference between gross profit and net profit. We also take you through a profit and loss statement, which is something that we're actually going to do this exact worksheet next week online together, okay? This is what it looks like. So a lot of people look at this and they go, oh my goodness me, this looks like Russian. And it can be overwhelming, but it actually isn't. And we're going to show you next week how easy and simple it is to complete this. And I even encourage, even if you're part of a big hotel group and they do your financials for you, I encourage all spa managers to take ownership of their business. Do your own numbers. It's okay if you've got a financial department, but it can take you 1 hour to get this sheet done every month. And then you are in control of your own numbers of your business so that you can see, okay, this is where I'm doing well, and this is where I need to focus and improve, okay? We take you through a profit and loss exercise, okay? So that you can understand how profit gets bigger, because a lot of people think that by increasing revenue, you're increasing profit. That is not the case, okay? And the only way that profit is increased is if revenue goes up and expenses go down, because then that profit gap gets bigger. So there's different ideas on how to do that, okay? So it's increasing revenue, but decreasing expenses without compromising customer satisfaction. And that is the key here, because we don't want to cut our expenses and then have not happy customers, right? We want that guest experience to be top notch. But at the same time, we want to have our expenses under control. Yeah, Laniel, it is beyond valuable. There is so much information that I'm just hoping I'm not overwhelming anybody. This that I'm showing you is something that you work through over a 12-month period. So please don't look at this, especially those of you who have been on the whole call and you go, oh my goodness me, Marisa, this looks scary, okay? It's not scary. This is step by step, baby steps. I had Joyce messaging me this morning about the staff module that she's busy with. And that's what we're there for, okay? For you to say, okay, I'm not quite sure what to do. Do I do this in this section? What do I do in that section? And this is a learning process that can take you very long to complete, which is okay. But at least you have something. You have a base, a platform where you belong, where you can see, where you can turn to, where you've got all the spreadsheets, you've got all the help available to you. Okay, it's a pleasure, Umpo. I'm glad you didn't miss the session too. Okay, this is the benchmarks that we are actually going to take you through next week as well in our profit and loss session. We're going to take you through these benchmarks of where you should be in the industry. We then give you some spreadsheets where you calculate the profitability of your treatments. So I don't know how many of you know exactly the profitability of each and every treatment that you have in your treatment menu. Okay, then we take you through a price comparison exercise. Again, totally critical to you being able to do any price increases or to know, are you outpriced in the market? You can only know that once you've done this comparative exercise. Then setting financial goals for your business. So in the beginning, we had staff goals and goals for the whole business. These are financial goals. So for example, you want 10% after tax profits at the end of the year. So you're going to set some really nice financial goals for your business. We then take you through an expenses budget exercise, okay? And we have a look at what a cash up should look like, and are your cash ups being done daily in your business? Because I speak to so many spa owners that are not doing cash ups in their business, and they don't really know how to and why they should be doing them, okay? And then we've got a monthly expense tracker form, which Andy Barge did for us, which is unbelievable. So we thank him for this spreadsheet, which we've updated a little bit as well. And this helps you keep control of your expenses so that the money doesn't run away with the revenue. So if your revenue is higher, then you can, you track your expenses that way. So you don't spend money that you don't have. Okay. And then right at the end of the course, we've put standard operating procedures, okay, the artery of your business. And we take you through the SOP development plan. Okay, we're almost done with an entire SOP manual for a spa or a salon. So you can choose either to write your own SOPs with a couple of templates that we've given you. And we've also given you an SOP tracking sheet, or you can choose to purchase and use our SOPs and adapt them for your business, which has taken us longer than 10 years to put together. And obviously they've all needed to be adapted and upgraded and so on. Okay. But again, standard operating procedures are absolutely critical to the smooth running of a business, because that's where you eliminate all the assumptions that happen. So all those little things that go wrong when a therapist assumes things or your front desk assumes something, all are eliminated when you use the SOPs effectively. Okay, so the next step, everybody, really is to not waste time. Okay, stop overthinking things, hurry up. So those of you who know me know that I'm a big believer in the early bird catches the worm. So stop procrastinating in your business. Okay, so here is the registration link, okay? But you all have it, okay? Most of you know exactly where to go to register, because that's how come you landed up on today's session as well. And we've got normally our course is selling for $170 per month membership, and we've got it on at $99 a month, and that is for the first 10 to register with us. Okay, so go on to spaprofessionalsguild.com.
Where's what?
Sorry?
It's under the microwave.
Who am I getting here? Leniel, I heard something about a microwave. That was quite funny. Okay, and let's all work together in our community to make sure that we are operating our businesses. It's okay, Leniel, don't worry. Operating our businesses from a place of abundance, right? Because that's where we want to be all the time. Okay, so does anybody have any questions? Go into the chat box. Let me know how you're feeling about today's session. Again, I hope that you are not overwhelmed, because that is definitely not the intention. Okay, I hope that I've given you lots to think about. In fact, not to think about, lots to act on, okay? And that we are going to start with our course material, not next week, but tomorrow or later on today, okay? And start going through this process of learning, of growing, of evolving, and continuously upgrading your business and making sure that you have got the latest tools and spreadsheets and templates to use. So we're there really to save you time and money, because that takes people years and years and years to get through. Okay, yes, Cara, we're so happy to have you back, man. It's been the best investment you made, and so glad to be back. We are so glad to have you back too. Okay, everybody. So let me know if there's any questions. Otherwise, for those of you who register, please, because we had a lady from France register yesterday, please make sure that you submit your cell phone number to us so that we can add you to our communities group. It is vitally important that we put you onto that WhatsApp group, because that's where we get notifications, recordings of sessions. So I want to make sure that everybody who is registered is on our group. Okay, and I managed to discover this morning we have a lovely lady called Laura from Montpellier in France, who's not on our group yet. She's busy with us, okay, and part of our community. So I will welcome her a little bit later. Okay, everybody, let me hear your checkout word. Go into the chat box. Let me know how you're feeling. And I cannot wait to see all of you next week, where we're going to take you through that profit and loss. So I need the thinking brain next week, the numbers brain coming, okay? And it'll be great if you bring your devices to the session and your profit and loss spreadsheet, because then you can work through it with us as we take you through each line item, okay? All righty, it's a pleasure, Danae. I will see you soon. Danae, let me know once you and Sarita have registered so I can add you to our group, okay? Lena, our opening, very excited. Oh, pleasure, Lena. Thanks for joining us. Great, Corin. I'm glad you're inspired. Awesome, Tiff. Glad you're inspired too. Abundance. Yes, everybody, abundance. Let's all just stay in that abundance mindset space, right? Beautiful. Okay, everybody. So I will wait to hear from everybody. You've all got my cell phone number. Just let me know once you're registered. I'll add you to our communities group. And yes, I will chat to you all soon. Have the most beautiful evening or day. Depends where in the world you are. Cheers, everybody. Bye, bye, bye. Bye, Paul and Lindy. See you soon. And Francina. Stop our recording.